Hello and welcome to LADZ PODCAST, where we talk about Milton Keynes hockey and of course the NIHL. Got myself Mason.
And I'm Brian.
Hey. So yeah, there we go. Bit lively. But anyway guys, hi. And of course we're going to talk about Milton Keynes Thunder, of course Milton Keynes Lightning, and of course the women's teams, the Falcons, and touch a little bit on the Storm of the youth teams, and of course a quick of the upcoming games in the National League as well, and see who's going to win, maybe who's going to overtime, who's going to lose. The big shockers. So we'll get that out there, don't we?
We'll get that out there.
Of course, some people won't like it. So we start off with MK Thunder, and of course their first home game of the season against the Invicta Mustangs, and of course it was looking great, wasn't it?
It was. I think we played really, really well. I think the new team just ran out of steam with it. Yeah,
and of course we were missing a couple key players.
Yeah.
So we had like Dom not in there. We knew we had we didn't have even Mark Austin either.
No.
Of course Maddie Wright, and of course they're more some of the experienced players.
Yeah.
So the team that went out was quite young still.
Yeah.
But I still feel like they did a cracking job. But unfortunately, I just felt like the other team, they held their strength to the end and pushed it. But of course, it was a debut with Mark's Cannons, number 97, who we've interviewed. That comes out next week, so look out for that. And of course, I was in the penalty box. I was asked to help out, and
no, not really, guys. They just like sticking him in the penalty box.
Yeah,
naughty.
I am naughty. I do, not always. But yeah, and of course, Cannons came on. I was like, wow, okay. And next minute, he scored his first goal.
Yeah.
Off the foot.
Yeah,
not off the foot literally, but off the foot on the ice, bang.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be one that's going to be a top scorer for the Thunder
and potentially
really,
potentially
the league. He's got a really good reputation from previous scoring quite a lot of goals in very few games.
In university hockey, wasn't it?
University hockey, yeah.
It was 155 points
in 45
games, and that is quite impressive. Of course, I think Will and of course the GM Lauren and of course Thunder was like, oh, please.
Yeah.
And then came again. He scored again.
He did.
So looking good. And then honestly, we just put pressure on the team because the team's quite younger, quite fast. Just give them no time to breathe. And then after that, we James Muller just past the blue line, slight in the corner, slap shot, top right hand corner, absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And I believe he got man of the match.
He did. He did. Yeah.
So well done there, James. And of course Sam Peters.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
With the fourth.
I think that was an assist with James as well.
Yeah, James Muller got the assist.
Yeah.
Because Sam's did come to me in the penalty box and open the door. Of course, I opened the door. And of course, I didn't see, boom, right in the head. And of course, he giggled anyway. So, but yeah, he went, he assisted. So, I told the guys, But then, of course, the Mustangs came back into it.
Yeah.
Quite fast, very strong hitters. And of course, they got most of the experience in their squad still. And of course, we're unfiltered opinions, so we can talk about anything we want. I do feel like there was a couple very bad calls.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, one of the players, hopefully it does get reviewed, where one of the players deliberately down below area. And if they do pick it up, hopefully it'll get the right decision.
Yeah.
And of course, it can't have anything like that, but it's clear and day on film.
Yeah. And it's such a shame when that happens that, teams resort to underhand tactics, for the better word. But at the end of the day, the score was what it was.
Came down to penalties in the end.
Yeah, we just didn't quite make win on penalties, but great first outing.
Great first outing, and also we did get a point, so it was. We didn't leave with anything. We still had a point.
First point of the season, and as we all know, as we both know, points can be, very important towards the end of the season.
No, definitely. And then of course, and then the away game we went to.
Yes, my very first ever ice hockey away game, and it was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
You went down with my old man.
Yeah.
I was down with Xander Robertson, and of course his father and his close friend. We went down separately. Of course, getting some footage and just seeing what it's like as a player getting ready for a game. And then of course against the Guildford Phoenix, the team. It's the team below, or second team below Guildford's Flames, isn't it?
It is, and they were the national champions last season, so we knew that it was going to be a really tough game.
Yeah, very tough game.
And it turned out to be just that, really.
Definitely, but of course, they did push them. Thunder did push them to the limit.
Yeah.
And of course, Cannons with 2 more goals.
Yeah.
So 2 games, 4 goals, looking good.
Yeah, definitely.
And also a new deadly formation there.
Yeah, a real
partnership.
I think there's a real partnership developing between Xander Robertson and Mark Keynes.
Most definitely.
Cannons. They looked really good. I think Xander was instrumental in both Mark's goals.
No, most definitely. And then of course. I thought Xander had a great game actually. He was all everywhere. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And he was, and on top of that, he rewarded himself with his own goal as well.
Yeah.
Which we had a massive roar out the behind.
Definitely.
Including us.
Yep, definitely.
And then of course, right at the end, Lewis Conroy.
Yeah.
Which I was mistaken for someone else. It got corrected very quickly.
And he wouldn't listen to me in the car when I told him it was Lewis.
It was a long day.
It was a long day.
But unfortunately, the Guildford Phoenix, being who they are, they've got a team of very, very physical.
Yeah.
Very big hitters. Of course, there was a couple of calls where Cannons actually took a stick to the face, and we all saw it. It was a stick in the face, but then of course the ref, hands behind his back, just doing this and saying no. You saw Will Fry saying like it's clear as day.
Yeah.
But of course he didn't give it. Of course, quite a few of the fans weren't happy with the decision. But as it's hockey, we get on with it. And then and of course they won 6-4.
Yeah. I think the thing for me was that I think Aaron Burton, the netminder, was very, very unlucky on a couple of those. Certainly the last one, I think it sort of bobbled up and he just couldn't locate it quick enough to stop it getting in.
He saw his expressions after he knew that.
He knew that.
But then of course during the first, second periods, there's been a couple of goals where they slid just past him very tightly, just squeezed past. But of course in the third period you did see him improve.
Yeah.
They weren't going past him there. He was tightening up more. So it's just unfortunate. It's just very unlucky in the game. Just needed a bit extra bit of luck and a bit more physicality.
Yes.
And Dom's back. Dom Wilfall's back, which hopefully might be able to help out in the back.
Yeah.
Also shout out to Maddie Wright.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She had a great game.
I thought she did.
She went in barge as well.
She was giving it as good as she gets. And I think you've got to remember that this is only their second league game, and the signs are really good.
A lot better.
When you consider where they've come from last season, where they were losing by quite a significant amount, to losing by 1 or 2 points. I think that shows the mark of the improvement, and you've got to give a shout out to Will and the coaching staff there who have really tightened up the team, brought some really great guys in with the recruitment, and really just taken them to the next level, and both bodes well for the future.
No, most definitely. And of course we're welcoming the Guildford Phoenix back home on Sunday, and hopefully a bit of payback. I'm not about aggressiveness and all that, but I just hope we show him a bit of strength,
Bit of fire.
very much fire, and of course, please come to the game and show your support, please.
6:30 kick-off, face-off.
So they kick off.
This is not
football.
I nearly said kick-off. I stopped myself.
It's your turn now, isn't it?
It's my turn today.
That's all right. But yeah, please come down to Pen Ice on the Sunday. £8 for adults, of course £1 for children, and of course it's free for under fives. I got it right.
You got it right.
I got it right. Round of applause, please. So now we'll jump into the MK Lightning, and of course, first game of the season. It was busy.
It was another packed house. I think we were very few seats again.
Most definitely. And of course, we're up against the Bristol Pitbulls, where I think some people are thinking we're going up against a more in-depth Bristol, a lot of talent. You've got the partnership of Brooknell and of course Dunbar, and of course you've got Napier and of course Netminding. And of course, what happened was Tom Rutkiss with the first goal.
Yeah.
Very quick off the mark. He's showing quite pretty good beginning to the season, and also pre-season.
Yeah.
And then, all right, we're going to ask him. Well, actually, I'm going to be there.
We're going to ask him
because we're hearing Kabaj and we're hearing Kabai. So we're going to say Dominic Kabai.
Yeah, we'll agree on that.
And then we'll speak to him
differently
because other people have been saying differently to us. So, but yeah, he came up with another goal.
Yeah,
he had quite a great game.
Oh, I think he was really dominant.
Also, man of the match.
Yeah, I think he was really dominant.
And of course, he got a goal, and then of course he assisted, and it was just all over the ice.
Yeah,
and that's where I think Tim's has brought him in.
Yeah,
to do that kind of doing job, isn't he?
Definitely.
And then of course the Scotsman, not the Englishman.
Yes.
I'll let you go on.
We have Jordan Cowley, who scored. I have apologised on another podcast, and I'll apologise again, Jordan.
Until you see him in person.
Until I see you in person. I now know that you are not English, you are Scottish.
Of course, as you keep saying, underrated and everything, which he is. He was.
I think he's, I've said it on many podcasts, Jordan is probably the most underrated player we have. And then he's very consistent. And always seems to get on the scoreboard in an assist at least.
No, different. And also, it's the fact is that as soon as you see him on the puck, you're quite excited to see what happens. Yeah. And of course, there was some time we were a bit quiet, but it's just one of those players. And then, he just came right in, tight corner, shuffled it in the top of the netminder shoulder in the back right corner, and everyone was just up in wow. Yeah. It's quite exciting.
And let's not forget Elliot Lewis either.
Elliot Lewis, another goal.
Yeah.
And he's doing it again, of course, for him as well. Shout out to Lewis. Of course, that would have been hard going up against your old team, old teammates, and of course. I saw some people saying some words to him, and he didn't let it get to him, because you even go one way or the other, can it? You can go one way, you have a bad game, or you have a great game, and he had a great game, and then he used some of his strength, didn't let him bully him.
No.
And of course, a few times where he went in and scored again, quite similar how he plays.
Yeah.
Very exciting player. And then the most underrated player that I always keep saying, Ed Nads.
Yeah.
With that beautiful goal.
It was a really stunner. It was a real stunner.
Absolutely.
I think that, shows his ability to the maximum. He's another player who is maybe not the most recognised person in the world, but he's just Mr. Consistent.
100%, and as I say, he comes in, he does his shift, no silly nonsense, and just gets on with it.
Yeah.
Helps you at the back, but also he's then right there, scores another goal.
Yeah.
And everything. And of course, Harry Gulliver, of course, always puts a shift in, not scared to put his weight against anybody. He always pops up. He goes quiet, but he pops up with a goal or two.
Yeah.
So shout out to him, and of course, Ilya Korinchuk.
Yes.
And I got that right. But first period for him, he was looking like another player I think is exciting on the puck as well.
He just seems to glide on that ice.
He does.
It's so effortless the way he moves, but so fast.
Very fast. And of course, I sit on block 7, basically like the front way. And of course, where he actually had the puck, he came back, he came forward, he came back, and it was confusing the other player.
He's got great stick control.
And of course, he came out the first period. Was quite hesitant. He didn't go for any shots and everything. I think he was more looking to play make and set people up, which he did. And then second period, he came out a few shots, looking great. But then right at the few seconds left, he finally got his goal. Honestly, I just love how he plays.
I do.
That's why I got his jersey.
Yeah, he is certainly one to watch for the future.
Yeah, and of course Bristol, they came with the 2. Is it Dunbar again? Because you saw what he did back in Solway Sharks.
Yes,
one of their best players. And without, and of course, was it Batch?
Yeah,
with a goal, and of course, I saw Batch getting a bit heated and a bit physical with Jordan Spadafor, and Josh Batch fell for his trick.
He did,
but it wasn't a trick. It was a hit, and he went down. He wasn't diving, Batch. If you do see this, don't hit me. But yeah, and of course, we weren't there for the game. We haven't seen the highlights because I know Telford haven't released them yet. But of course, Telford on Tigers, I know, incredible form at the minute.
They are. I mean, they to me at the moment are one of the surprise teams.
Very much.
I don't think they quite clicked last season. I think they didn't do as well as they wanted to do. They certainly struggled at times, but obviously a 4-point weekend for them.
100%, and of course they did do a big upset. 7-4 at the Castle against Leeds Knights. I think everyone was shocked about Leeds Knights this weekend, but we won't go too much into it.
It is still early in the season.
It's the first weekend, and it does happen. But you know what Leeds will probably do later on.
Yeah,
like last season, they weren't that consistent at the beginning.
No,
but they still won, but they weren't consistent. But then second half of the season, they just showed up, and they took advantage when we dropped our points against Peterborough and won the league.
Yeah,
and then of course Telford came against MK Lightning at their own home rink up in Telford. We weren't there as we're at the Thunder game, and if you're wondering why I went dim, my light has died.
Well,
it might be broken. I don't know. I did drop it earlier.
Mason, you just.
I know.
Yeah. What am I going to do with you?
I need to get a new light and to bubble wrap it. But yeah, of course, we missed it. We're hoping to see the highlights very soon. But of course, it was a 6-3 loss, unfortunately. Yeah,
another goal for Dom.
I don't know. Goodbye. Power play goal, I
believe it was,
which is good to see again. So that's now 6 power play goals in the weekend,
and I think that's a big difference this season, is that we have actually, obviously Tim has worked hard on the power play goal, and the kills are beginning to get there. They're not quite there yet, but there's certainly an improvement.
Big improvement, because I think the on the Saturday game, speaking about the penalty kills. And the power play kills, exactly. I think it was on 66.6%. I heard, and that's incredible. Because we didn't really see that last season. No. So as you said, it's the first weekend, and of course, when we played against Telford, there were a couple of power play goals that was let in. Of course, we didn't have Headley in goal. We had Will Curlin. That's nothing against Will Curlin at all. It's just it happens. It's hockey.
Yeah, exactly, and we sometimes struggle away from home, but
you're up against a very shocking.
But as I say, Telford. Exactly. We have seen that Telford are going to be a force this season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to their fixture this weekend.
We are indeed,
definitely, and of course, shout out as Telford. It's the Eye of the Tiger podcast. Matt. Do have a watch. I think that's pop up here, but have a watch. His hockey knowledge is out of this world.
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
a lovely guy. It came out, well, probably came out a few days before this podcast, but we joined with him.
Yep.
Of course, we kind of twisted it where he had to answer some questions.
Yes.
Had a good laugh, actually.
Yeah, it's, I think one of the things that I'm really excited about is that we're now starting to be recognised by other podcasters as Lightning Lads, and getting invited to these sort of things as sort of the authority on MK hockey.
Yeah, because you jumped on, we're both going to jump on it, but unfortunately my kids needed me last minute, so you helped out and jumped on and everything. So that'll pop up there who it is. Of course, well done, Brian.
Bye.
And of course, then we move on to the Falcons.
Yes.
We done a couple of quick fire interviews. We've still got more to post.
Yeah.
I've just been so busy, so I've been backed up. So I did post one today.
Yeah.
With Hannah. So that's been posted. So you'll see that. So you'll see another one next week. And of course, their first game was with the number 2 team.
Yeah.
Against Coventry Phoenix.
Yeah.
And of course, as they did lose, but it was a 5-2 loss, but I still felt like they played really well.
Yeah.
And some players were showing some promising skill. There was a mid-change on the netminder debut, which I'll get her name. I do apologise, as it was last week anyway, because but she done pretty well. Yeah,
and I think again, it was the first time I'd seen the Falcons play, and was pleasantly surprised at the standard that the ladies played at, and that's all credit again to their coach Nick Paul.
And of course, next team was the
Storm. Oh, the Chelmsford Cobras,
which is quite a fascinating name, isn't it?
Yeah, it was, and I think again, there were a lot of the players who had played in the first game
and then played
in the second game, and certainly towards the end of the third period, you could see the fatigue starting to get in.
Yeah.
So
it was quite evenly matched.
A great start for the Falcons, and
it was. I think
we're again it shows that that ladies hockey is alive and well in Milton Keynes.
It is definitely, and of course they did lose by 6. I know that looks like 6-0 and everything, but it was, for the first period, it looked quite even. Second period as well, but it's just unfortunately unlucky. But there was a few times where I think it was Russell, number 30. I think it is that. I do apologise, but do got footage which come up now, where she just glided through everyone. And of course, hit the post.
Yes.
And of course, no, that's actually the first game.
Yeah.
Against the Phoenix. So I do apologise, but the Cobras, some great moments, quite unlucky. But move on to the next game. The next one we'll put on the YouTube information and also on the actual posting. We'll do the game results. And of course, who scored and everything, so I'll take that way because we missed it.
Yeah.
And then the youth team.
Yeah, the
Storms. And of course, the under 19B against Invicta Juniors. And of course, they came with the win.
They did.
So awesome. But of course, we didn't get the other scores as we've been so busy with the other teams, with the under 16s, the under 10s, and also the under 19A team. We'll put that all information onto the actual post as well.
Yeah, and please do, if you get the opportunity to come down to one of the Storm games, please do. They need your support.
They do.
Because at the end of the day, these are the people, these are the guys that will hopefully progress to Thunder, then on to Lightning,
or maybe to another team. But
definitely.
Even though it's another team, it's still hockey is a family.
It is indeed.
So here comes the fun part, which Brian...
I'm not sure it's fun part.
For me, it's fun part. For Brian, bless him. We're going to the fixtures for this weekend for the National League. and we'll start off with Friday. He won't do the actual scoring, but he'll say who will get the win.
That's basically because I'm terrible at it.
So Friday, the Sheffield Steel Dogs, with their 4-point weekend from last weekend, up against the Peterborough Phantoms.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really tight game. They've got two really good sides. Sheffield have come out at a rush, as you said, 4-point weekend. The Phantoms, with Dylan Lawrence scoring regularly, are very, very tight as well. I see that going to overtime, and I think my gut feeling says Sheffield.
Yeah, so I think the same, because Peterborough last game was actually pretty great. Dylan Lawrence, just look at his founder's feet there. But of course, I feel like it's going to be 4-4 right at the end, and then it's going to be overtime winner. I think it's going to be Sheffield with a 5-4. So
fair enough.
It could be either way.
Yeah.
And of course, Saturday, I think we missed out because I think we only got a hold down for one game on the weekend, so we might have to add that onto the podcast. And I think what we'll do, we'll pop up here who they're playing, and we'll put it in. So Saturday, MK versus Solway Sharks. I think 6-3.
Yeah, I'd go obviously with the Lightning. Being at the Thunderdome is always a big game for us. Another sellout crowd, I have no doubt. We always love having the Solway Sharks down. Their fans are absolutely brilliant, and
they are.
They're
I'm right
really,
next to them, so.
They're really great. They're very noisy and very, very friendly. And I think, I really enjoy the Sharks.
Of course, I'm looking forward to the Jake Bolton. See what happens with Spader
Yes, there's some interesting matchups.
There is, and of course, next up, Swindon versus Romford.
Yeah, I can't see. I think Swindon again are flying. I think they also got 4-point.
They did, yeah.
Weekend. Romford won't be able. I don't think they'll be able to match them up.
I think 7-2.
Okay.
That's a big score. I am sorry, Romford fans. It's just our opinions, and you never know. You could upset them. Let's just have to show up and show who's boss. And of course, we've got Bristol versus Leeds, and Bristol won the last game. Of course, coming off the defeat with us. I just feel like Bristol are going to be at home, and I think Bricknell might come out of his shell, because I thought Bricknell he was a completely different player against Lightning, but I feel like he might turn up for this, and the players might just say, let's beat Leeds. So
yeah, I mean, without sounding awful, Leeds have not had the best start of the season.
0 points for the first weekend.
0 points for the first weekend, which is unlike them. And I think, they will obviously want to win, but I think the momentum is on Bristol's side this time.
Yeah, and of course we've had a lot of people, not just us or anyone else. There's been quite a lot of talk of potentially Leeds not looking as strong. This season. So, but hopefully they'll pick up some points. Hopefully, because we're not against no. Even local rivals, Peterborough.
Yeah,
not 100%.
No.
And of course, talking about Peterborough Phantoms, home to Telford Tigers.
Again, a very, very strong matchup. Could go either way.
You think tight, maybe overtime-ish?
I think possibly overtime. Again, they're two very evenly matched. Got some good forwards, both teams.
They do.
So I think, it's going to be a really tough game. It's a real tough one to call.
So you're going to go too tough.
I'm going to sit on the fence on that one.
I think 6-4 Telford. I think they're going to upset. So we shall see. And then Sunday, Sheffield versus Swindon. And I think that's going to be an overtime. And I think it's going to be 4-3 to Sheffield.
Yeah, I think this weekend there are so many teams that are so evenly matched at this point in the season that it's really, really difficult.
Yeah, definitely. And I just feel like whatever Slava's doing at Sheffield, and also they're bringing in more people in, which is that's what they needed.
Yeah,
and a bit more loud voices, and you can see it. And hopefully, of course, against Swindon again, Swindon. So it could be a nice one. Of course, Leeds at home to Bristol, and I think Leeds will try and do something there and win.
Yeah, I think, regardless of the result on Saturday, I think Leeds, their pride was hurt being beaten at the Castle.
Yeah.
And I think they will want to start. They can't afford really to be losing points this early.
Yeah, I got it down as overtime, and I hope they do get points, but I see like Bristol might do the double.
Yeah.
Overtime 4-3.
Yeah.
Very tight game. And of course, Romford Raiders against Solway at home. I feel like Romford being back at home, I feel like they just want to win, and I just feel like if the crowd gets behind them, I think it's going to be a 5-3.
Yeah, and again, it's one that, two very evenly matched teams, I think.
Very physical, I reckon, as well.
Very physical game. I think Solway have shown improvement over the last 2 years, and hopefully they've had quite a tough start, I think, with the teams they were playing. But I think I would go Raiders as well.
Yeah, and of course the big one, Hull Seahawks are welcoming MK Lightning, and that's always been a tricky place to go to and game.
Yeah,
because there's been a few losses up there, and of course there's been a few overtime winners for Lightning. So it's very hard to call because Hull look impressive still.
Yeah, Hull look impressive, but I think we've now got we've got this season. We've got a lot more discipline. We haven't had as many penalties as we've had in the past.
Now you said it.
Now I've said it. I'll probably regret saying that.
So we know on the next podcast I'll say
yeah, okay. But I think it could go right down to the wire.
It could too, and then also be interesting. It's Bobby against Lightning, and quite a few times he's come against us, and it's been quite a few where he's been either evicted or in the box. So, but of course Tim's not on the ice this time, so he can't really go up to unless he goes up to the box. But I don't think he'll get the chance though.
No, I think that is always. If I'm going to be brutally honest, and I'm sure Bobby and Hull won't mind me saying, that's always been the problem with Hull, is they do tend to rack up a lot of penalty points, penalties, especially with Bobby's
record
temper.
Basically for his record last season, but other than that, I don't want him to be in the box because he is an absolute incredible player.
Definitely.
Of course, pretty great goal scorer in this last weekend as well. He got a hat trick and stuff. So I've always said if Bobby actually was a bit more quieter and just focus on the game, and that you'll start racking up the points.
Yeah.
And
I think he just loses his head sometimes, and that's
trying to be biased, aren't I? Here, because
I think that's his weakness. Is just at times he can be just lose his head sometimes, and that obviously affects the team.
Yeah, but hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he has a great season.
Yeah,
and just gets absolutely loads of goals because he is a British international player.
Yeah, and of course he's MK Lightning. So at a recent podcast we were asked who would we like to come back, and I have to say he was one that did cross my mind. He is still an excellent player.
Oh, 100%. And of course I think it's going to be overtime, and I think you're trying to be in the middle, aren't you, here, because of podcasting, but I feel like Lightning 6-5 overtime.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tricky game, especially you've got Sobchak and then also you've got Emil Zvek, who a player I would love to have at Lightning. I love Emil Zvek. Hopefully one day I get to meet him. I might have to speak to Slapshot Syndicate about setting up one day if I go away, because I can't make it the away game.
Yeah.
Because we're at Thunder. But of course, Telford at home. Basingstoke, Basingstoke.
Yeah, I mean, I find it really difficult to call this one because, unlike the other teams, they haven't played a full season game yet.
Not yet. It's been delayed to
so this is their
arena.
Due to their rink. I think it's going to be really interesting. So I'm one of those people that like to get data on people, and I don't think Bison. I wouldn't like to judge Bison on the fact that I've not seen them yet, and being a new team as well, we don't know how that's going to gel. They've obviously got a great netminder in Max Wright.
100%. I love Max Wright.
I think he will be.
He'll stop some teams getting points.
He'll be a big factor in their success this season.
Of course, I caught a bit of the second game of the pre-season game against Swindon. That's when, of course, Bison did get the win. Bison do look pretty good. And it was one of the imports that I did take a liking to. I always call it the posh version of Spadafor. His name is Spadafora. Sounds like a lot of fancy butter, doesn't it?
Yeah,
the spread of Spadafora.
Or some Italian pasta dish.
But yeah, he looks quite great, and his goals I've seen look quite impressive. And I just feel like against Telford are going to be strong, of course, how they are. But I just feel like Bison are going to be like, we can finally play. This is who we are, and I think it's going to be a 4-3.
Okay.
I think they're going to upset Telford at home.
Yeah.
Which I do want them to do.
Yeah.
But of course, if Telford win, great for them. 100%.
Yeah. But I think the thing that has come out this week is that there are a lot of teams who are looking very, very strong. And I think this is going to be one of those seasons, like it was last season, where it's going to go down right to the wire. And there could be 4, maybe 5, maybe even 6 teams vying for that top spot.
So, and of course, just adding on, I know we didn't talk about this, but I'm going to put it on there. The 3 teams that might miss out on the playoffs, and we'll come back to it in the middle of the season and see where we're at there. Of course, I'm going to call it, I'm sorry, I think Solway, Romford Raiders, and who did I say? It was, and I did say Bristol, didn't I?
You did?
I did say Bristol. So that's the teams I'm going to call. Nothing against the teams whatsoever. And we'll come back on the mid-season and see where we are.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Solway, unfortunately, always struggle. That's obviously down a lot to their geography. Travelling such a long distance and not being maybe as strong able to recruit as strongly as they would like to. Again, I would say I agree with you with Romford. And I went for Basingstoke simply because I have no data on them. I don't know how they're playing.
Yeah, so you're going open-minded.
Yeah.
So that's who we've gone for, R3, except Basingstoke and Bristol for me.
Yeah.
So hopefully they do get up there, but we'll come back on mid-season for that, and we see where we're at with that one, won't we?
Yeah, definitely.
So what we'll do, because we know we have to go into Thunder right now in a second, and see what's going on. But that is it for the podcast this evening.
Yeah.
But of course, guys, please like and subscribe to our channel. We've jumped up quite far at the minute.
We have.
I remember 3.5 weeks ago, we were at 112, and we've jumped up to 164.
Yeah, I mean, and thank you guys for supporting our podcast. We are not professionals. We're just 2 guys who love hockey, and we really enjoy talking to you guys and discussing hockey, whether it be Milton Keynes or any other of the other teams.
100%. And of course, if you do see us, just approach us, say hi.
Please do.
Lovely guy. Me, I'm a big guy, but I'm a big marshmallow.
He's a cuddly bear.
But yeah, we'll sort out. We'll have a drink or something.
Yeah,
have a catch up.
Definitely.
But other than that, guys, thank you for watching LADZ Podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.